The majority of us enjoy anime. They are packed with action, romance, horror, superpowers, battles, and so much more. Some anime sequences are unforgettable, whereas many anime scenes are horrible. Here are the top 10 grossest anime scenes ever. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Love Bugs. Gintama. Shinpachi intended to consume them to win the competition, but a slight prod from Kagura got him to lock lips with one instead. It's one thing to have your first kiss stolen by a bug, but it's quite another to fall in love with it afterward. Their mutual embarrassment merely raises a plethora of troubling issues about how a courtship between a grub and a man would operate. Fortunately, Shinpachi's first crush is eaten alive before the show provides any answers. Number 9. The Holy Mother of Transformations. Fate Stay Night. Unlimited Blade Works. Shinji was having a bad day even before he was wounded through the chest. The rejected villain creeps back to his servant, Gilgamesh, on the verge of insanity. However, Shinji receives a forced implant and becomes the Holy Grail's new vessel as a result of this actual heart-to-heart. Being shish kebab by this underling isn't even the end of his problems, for a massive mass of flesh subsequently explodes from the place of impact. At that point, all he can do is watch himself eventually turn into a squishy heap of fat. Number 8. Eat or Be Eaten. Beastars. This lunch was exclusively enjoyed by Shishigami and not because of what was on the dish. Louis is handed a slab of beef on a silver tray to prove his loyalty to the mafia. The message to Hiborve is simple: clean the plate or he'll be the next one. Louis suppresses his worries and takes a bite, even though just thinking about it causes him to almost choke. The frame pauses on the pompous deer's reaction long enough to convey how nasty this is. And what's nearly worse is that the mafia took pleasure in seeing him suffer. Number 7. Nature Calls. Prison School. This plan is dreadful in terms of prison escapes. It depends on Kiyoshi's pretending to be in the bathroom for an extended period, which means extraordinary efforts must be made to guarantee he is not disturbed. However, when the internet's lack of acceptable sound effects threatens to derail their scheme, Gakuto steps up by dropping trowel. He records an inspired rendition of his digestive system right then and there, with Kiyoshi sitting next to him. And yeah, he still has to wear those pants out of there. Number 6. Pimple Popper. Junji Ito Collection. Living above a greasy fast food business not only raises tensions among these siblings, but also generates more than the typical amount of teenage acne. Unfortunately for Yui, it also heightened her brother's hormones, and a harmless comment causes him to pop his minefield of pimples all over her face. There's no shower long enough to make you feel clean after that, and we're simply watching. It's difficult to not cheer when the father eventually intervenes by whacking his son on the head with a shovel. Number 5. Don't Scratch. When They Cry. The cursed Hinamazawa syndrome of this town isn't deadly to the user, though with hallucinations like this, Reina may wish it were. The wince-inducing sound effects of her clawing her neck are only a prelude to the main event, in which maggots begin to emerge from her wounds. Even if it's not genuine, the revolting graphics make this scenario tough to watch without cringing. This anime is notorious for its violence and horrific images, but nothing compares to the true level of discomfort that this evokes. Number 4. Most Important Meal. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Stardust Crusaders. When putting Mannish Boy in timeout fails, Kaikoin decides to give him a literal taste of his own medicine. Mannish Boy then tries to kill them all in their nightmares, after the twerp dupes the entire crew into thinking he's an innocent child. Everyone forgets in the morning except Kaikoin, and unfortunately for Mannish Boy, Jotaro's pretty buddy knows how to hold a grudge. As Kaikoin cooks Mannish Boy a gourmet lunch utilizing some less than 5-star ingredients from the child himself. The action plays out like a car collision you can't turn away from. Number 3. A One-Way Trip. Made in Abyss. It's difficult to watch youngsters being used to testing the effects of the titular chasm's lethal 6th layer, But it's the aftermath that truly troubled us. When they return, the curse takes effects, and Nanachi can only watch as her buddy Mitty suffers a fate worse than death. As she dissolves into her cursed form, her blood spews and her body becomes grotesquely twisted. It's a horrific sight, made worse by the fact she spent the entire trip imploring Nanachi to end her pain. Number 2. Pigging out. Spirited Away. Chihiro, realizing her parents had transformed into gluttonous swine, preys on a basic fear of a child being left alone, especially when it's all too clear there's nothing left of them on the inside. The awful number of food crumbs they leave behind gives a clear portrayal of two people reduced to a single basic impulse. It's a disgusting sight. Not because they're pigs, but because they're inhuman. The extreme excess in which they are required to partake is enough to make us skip lunch for a time. Number 1. Fart versus Fart. Ultimate Muscle. The Kanika Man Legacy. Kid Muscle would imagine he'd use the ripped abs and enormous biceps he's named after to beat his father in the ring. However, he appears to have been missing the gym to work out his bowels. His adversary, none other than his father, swiftly discovers that the only way to battle a fart is, of course, with your own. Creating a situation that no one wants to see, hear, or smell is almost impressive. In the end, this generational fight just demonstrated that muscle family gatherings should be attended by a gas mask. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.